The Ural sidecar has a colourful history. It was developed in the build-up to World War II when the Russian military was looking at how to mobilise its ground forces. The Ural was originally based on the BMW R71 bike, and production began in Moscow. However, the German advance into Russia was so rapid, the factory had to be moved east of the Ural Mountains to Urbit, out of the range of the German bombers. On October the 25th, 1942, the first Urals were sent into battle, and they played an important part in helping the Red Army defeat Hitler. After the war, non-military production began, and the sidecar's popularity grew rapidly among Russians, and they've developed a cult following, not just in Gloucestershire, but all around the world.
Well, it's been a long, hard journey, and it feels like we've come to the other side of the world. However, we have finally made it here to Urbit, home of the Ural motorcycle factory, which is just behind me.
The factory in Urbit employs a workforce of about 800, and they produce over 2,000 motorcycles a year.
There's no fancy computer machinery, there's no big posh production line. It's just a lot of people and a lot of heavy kit, hammering, sanding, lathing, planing, and banging these things into shape. This is where it all happens.
Perhaps surprisingly, the biggest overseas market for Urals is America, but they're also growing in popularity across Europe. A sidecar will set you back between £5,000 and £6,000. They come in a variety of colours. Camouflage is especially popular. And optional extras include a machine gun, very useful when you're stuck in traffic.
And this is my Ural. High-tech, it ain't. Simple and as tough as a hammer, it is. And that's exactly what is needed on Russian roads. Up at the front here, let's go really old school. We're talking drum brake, which is next to useless, and leading link forks, which actually do something. Motor here, flat twin, making, I don't know, 40 horsepower? Nothing too pokey, but starts every morning, will probably never break down. Let's get on to the luxury side of things. Actually, this is a piece of rubber, stretched across a metal frame. Works all right until you hit a pothole, then it's a bit sore underneath. A bit like the grab rail here, made out of an old piece of hose. Up at the front, the bit that really shocked me was this. It's an electric start. I spent ages looking for the kickstarter before realising that was there. But then bringing a slap bang back into the steam age is this. What is it? That's a steering damper. No fancy Olin's race unit here, just a great big nut. Tighten it up, you tighten your steering up. Loosen it off, she gets looser. As simple as that. Last but not least, the chariot attached to the side. Very heavy, ruins the steering, makes this bike weave all over the road all of the time. But in a little twist to modernity, they do actually have direct drive to the rear wheels of this sidecar. There's a reverse gear in there as well for when you're stuck in a tricky situation. And if you can't carry enough beer, how's about that for underseat storage? Boot closed, and time now to sample the old-fashioned delights and charms of this fine Ural motorcycle. Right, mount my steed of steel, ignition on, water off the seat. Yes! Yes, it's got no steering whatsoever. And I'm going through a big puddle. Nearly hit a tree. That was a good trick. Over some trees. Yeah, you can take a sidecar anywhere. Woohoo! I'm probably going to end up in the river here. All over the crew there. like the Dukes of Hazzard, this, where they had those car chases that just went around that one cop. I'm steering, but it's not coming back. Come back. It's horrible out here. It's filthy, muddy, cold, wet, and miserable, but this can still put a smile on your face because it goes sideways, backwards, almost upside down, just about any way it wants to go, apart from the way you want to go. But you're never really going to fall off it, and you're going so slow it doesn't matter. Genius.